How's it going, everyone? It's Mike from PC Classic Cars back with another virtual description. Today, we are going to talk about my 1973 Chevrolet Camaro Z28, and this is a true Z28. This is a vehicle that I bought from a private individual out of Ohio. He told me he owned the car for about 8 years, had a lot of the mechanical work done to it, and spent a bunch of money doing a lot of mechanical upgrades. Unfortunately, I didn't get any receipts for all of that stuff, but all of the driveline in the car and the mechanical upgrades do look relatively fresh, and that's the story that I got from the guy we bought it from. The motor that's in it, I simply listed it as a higher performance 350. The guy I bought it from said it was a 383 stroker motor. I do not have a receipt for that, so that is simply why I listed it as a 350. But it runs extremely well. It is on the higher performance side of a small block. It does have aftermarket aluminum heads, and it runs really, really well. It's very well balanced. It's a very fun street car, and it drives down the road really nice. The block that's in it is not the numbers matching motor to the car. It was simply another motor that was built for this particular application. The transmission that's behind it is a 4-speed manual transmission. It shifts great. The clutch feels good, so no problems with that either. It is optioned with power steering, and then you do have an upgraded power front disc brake setup. It is a wheelwood drilled and slotted rotor setup in the front. Then you have your standard drum brakes in the back. Other mechanical options, you do have an aftermarket aluminum radiator, as well as an aftermarket aluminum V-belt pulley setup. You do have an aluminum intake and then a Holley carb as well. On your rear end, it is a 10-bolt rear end. I'm unsure exactly what gear ratio is in the back. It's probably somewhere in the lower threes, like a 391 gear. I don't know exactly what the gear ratio is, but you can still cruise the car at 70 miles an hour. Anything above that, you do start turning a few RPMs. You do have front and rear sway bars, and then it's got Bilstein shocks all the way around. And then on your exhaust, it has a really nice set of headers. It is a full dual exhaust system. It has an X pipe, aftermarket like knockoff style Flowmaster mufflers, and then a full tailpipe on both sides. Car sounds great going down the road. It's not too terribly loud. Has a nice muscle car sound. Take a look at my test drive video. It'll be me personally driving the vehicle going down the road. It'll be about a 10-minute long video. I'll dive more into the mechanicals on the car, but that is going to be the best thing about this being a real Z28 with a lot of money spent on the driveline. On my does it work list, it is a really short list of items not working. It's really just two things. It does have an aftermarket stereo in it, but it's an older stereo, and unfortunately, it's not coming on and playing any sound. I do not know what is wrong with the stereo. I did not diagnose it, so I can't tell you what is wrong with the radio. I would personally just buy a new setup, new speakers, rewire the radio, and then you'd be good to go. The other item that is not working is going to be your notorious washer fluid sprayers. They're not spraying any fluid, however, the wipers do work. Take a look at my Does It Work section. It is posted on my website in multiple places. It's going to be a screenshot at the end of the photos, or if you click on the additional informations tab below the photos, you'll see the virtual description link, which is what you're watching. You'll see my test drive link, which is what I suggest you go watch after watching this video, and then the additional information tab, which is going to have photos of all of the imperfections on the car. It's going to have the VIN number. It's going to have the cowl tag in there, and it's also going to have that very important Does It Work section. During my normal inspection on this one, like any old car, you have a couple little drips underneath it. It's very, very minor little seepage. If it sits in the same spot for a while, you'll get a very, very small little bit of seepage from the bottom of the motor. Again, it's very minimal. I wouldn't classify it as a leak. Obviously, with any old car, if you let them sit there and they're not being driven regularly, you're going to develop some little drips here and there. So I classify it as your normal classic car seeps and weeps, and it's not classified as a leak at this point. So really minimal stuff there. I will also say with that wheelwood drilled and slotted rotor setup, the brakes are a little bit touchy. So if you hit that brake pedal, it will stop the car really well, but it is a little bit touchy. So it takes a little bit of getting used to. Drive the car 1 or 2 times, you get used to the brakes, but they are on the tighter side of things. So you hit that brake pedal and it stops you right away. If you slam them on, it's going to throw you through the windshield if you're not wearing your seatbelt. So I actually prefer that. It's a higher performance brake setup to go along with the motor that's in the car. The upper and lower ball joints look like they've recently been replaced, showing very, very minor age, but it all checks out really well and probably done within the last couple years. Same thing with the steering components up front. Everything shows great. It's not brand new, but it also checks out really well and nothing that needs to be replaced with the suspension or the steering components. On your exterior, this was a color change. Originally, it was a 97 medium orange color Z28. Now it is black with some stripes. I will say that the paint is probably the oldest aspect of the car. Without going through every single panel on it, take a look at the additional informations tab. It's going to outline all of the imperfections. Every photo is going to have a name of where the imperfection is. This car does have some dings. It has some little chips and scratches kind of all around the car. It's got some excuse me, it's got some checking. It's got some just paint imperfections throughout. It's an older black paint job. It's got an Audi on the center of the hood where the little pin for the carburetor poked the bottom side of the hood at one point. So it's got a little like quarter size Audi that could be replaced or could be fixed and spotted in. But again, just expect the cosmetics on this car to be older. Walking up to it, it still presents well, but it's black. It shows more flaws than any other color. I would still be very proud to own it. It's got a ton of money put in other aspects of the car. Just the paint is a little bit older, which I would rather have really nice mechanicals, a solid car, nice interior, and just older paint. There's nothing wrong with that. If someone wanted to update it over time, you could. Again, take a look at the additional informations tab. You'll see the photos of the paint imperfections. There's a little bit of delamination happening on the windshield. There's some little blisters here and there, some little dings, little dents, little small stuff kind of just around the car. You do have a really nice set of 16-inch American racing wheels. The tires are a 205/55 and a 245/50, so it's a staggered set. The date code on the tires is 2007, but there is no dry rot, no cracking, no hard spots going down the road, so I decided to leave the tires. But that's personal preference if you don't mind a little bit of an older tire. Excuse me. Having a hard time talking here this morning. But if you wanted to update the tires, you definitely could, but I decided to leave them on this particular car just due to them being still in good shape. On the interior, it's code 755 with the A51 code for the black bucket seat interior. It's a stock style interior. The seat covers, the door panels, the carpet, the mats, all that stuff shows well. I will say the driver's side remote mirror, the little arm to move the mirror, and the little cable is missing, so there's just the open hole there. You could replace that with a new cable and a little arm to move the remote mirror, but right now you just have to move the mirror by hand. It does have 3 gauges under the dash. They're an oil, water temperature, and a voltage gauge. Those are your 3 gauges for those 3 applications, oil, water temp, and voltage, that are working. The gauges themselves are the original. The cluster is showing a little bit of age, but the gauges are still easy to see and easy to read. The package tray has some little flaws here and there. The headliner's intact, but it does have a few little ripples above the driver's head. You'll see photos of that in the additional informations tab. But overall, it's a stock style interior and it shows well. The engine bay is the same way. It's an older engine bay itself as far as the paint on the inner fenders and the firewall. You obviously have all of the really nice mechanical upgrades that have been recently done. The guy that we bought it from said all the motor and all that stuff was within a few thousand miles, so it doesn't have a lot of time on it. Again, don't have any paperwork for that, just going off what the previous guy told me, but it runs excellent. The engine bay is clean, but the underside of the hood, the paint is older like the outside of the car. The inner fenders and the firewall, the paint, again, is older, but it still checks out nice, and you can see all of those really nice upgrades in the engine bay. I don't need to go through them here again. The underneath is very solid. The floors, the frame rails, the inside of the trunk, all that stuff shows really nice. No current rust issues. Both the driver's side and the passenger side inner wheel wells and the quarter drop downs at the front have had a little bit of repair work. Mud, dirt, grime, road grime gets kicked up in those areas. Very, very common to have the inner fenders in the back as well as the front quarter drop downs having a little bit of metal work done, just minimal stuff. It shows very nice. Again, no current rust issues and a very, very clean, mostly original underside of this car. Overall, this is a killer Camaro. It is a real Z28. The cowl tag is there. It calls it out on the cowl tag that it's a real Z28. The interior is nice and stock style. The underneath is very solid, and it's got a bunch of money thrown at the mechanicals on it, which is, again, my preference. Having great mechanicals, a nice interior, a nice solid car, being a real Z28. I would rather all of that good stuff and then have one that's a little bit older cosmetically, that you can drive it, you get a little stone chip or a little ding here or there. It's not going to be the end of the world. What I would do on this car is I would add aftermarket AC, add a new stereo, and then drive the wheels off it. It is a lot of fun to drive. You'll see it in my test drive video. It's very strong mechanically, got a lot of money put in the driveline again, and just a really cool Camaro being a Z28. As always, I appreciate y'all stopping in to watch another one of my virtual descriptions. Make sure you check out the test drive video. Make sure you check out the additional informations tab. Both are on my website, pcclassiccars.com. I'll catch you guys on the next virtual description and hope you have a great rest of your day.